kind of how after that game is over, what was the team feeling like? How were you feeling about the team? Just how do you cope with that kind of a loss?
Yeah, I think it's always difficult. You're playing obviously a very good program. One that historically has done well in the conference. One that we've struggled against. It was definitely one of the better games we've had against them. In the game, there's so many ebbs and flows. There's ups and downs, and there's moments where we dominated and had them pinned in, and there were moments where they had us pinned in. And at the end, you look at the two moments, right? A moment in the first 3 minutes and the moment in the final moments of the game itself, and you lose. And so it takes a little bit of the wind out of your sails, right? And you kind of get punched in the gut a little bit, and you got to take your medicine. You got to go back to work. And I think that our girls are really motivated from that. I think they realized that we didn't play exceptionally well. But there was so much heart, so much determination on the field, and like our girls were never going to say die in that moment. And so they worked and they made something of nothing in a lot of situations, and we held them tight. And at the end of the day, we weren't good enough, and they were that little bit better. But that's what's going to now push the team forward.
Yeah, you say you didn't play that well, but yet you're still hanging with a top 25 team. Kind of, we've talked in a number of these press conferences about you guys just needing to put things together. I mean, what do you think you guys can achieve when that does happen?
Yeah, I think that, it's, speaking to a couple people earlier, I said, yeah, it hasn't been going well. The games that matter, in terms of, the games that we've got to win, are coming up here quickly, and you're in conference now, and kind of the sands of time are running, right? So we've got to be sharper. We've got to figure it out as a staff. A couple more moves. We're going to try a different forward combination, on Friday, and we're going to move some people around in the midfield and do some more things. And every time we get a little bit closer, and we just need to actually get to the spot where, like I said last week, that little green square on the Rubik's Cube is still sitting in the corner. We're like 2 turns away, and we've just got to get it there. And I think that what's nice is that we have a fantastic group of young women that come and they work hard every single day, and you don't have to question them on that. Like, they come and they put in the work, and they have a fantastic heart, and they love each other, and they work for each other, right? And I think that when you have that, you have the opportunity to grow, and you have an opportunity to be successful every single day.
And we just heard Mary say that she thinks the team is really struggling at the beginning and end of games in the early going here. Does the team to you look particularly different in these periods? How do you kind of explain that?
I think that the expectations that they put on themselves, while they're realistic, it's a heavy weight. And you saw that, early in the game against Sonoma specifically, right? We make uncharacteristic mistakes. And the way that we defended their corner was very uncharacteristic of a mistake for us. We don't normally make those mistakes, and they score the goal right away. The last minute of the game against Sonoma, we were fatigued. We were a little bit beat down. They had a very good run of play at that moment. Like, you felt like something was coming, and as a staff, we were trying to get to overtime so we can make some more changes and catch our breath. And to their credit, they made the most of an opportunity and scored that goal, and they win the game. But I think that for us, it's managing stress, managing the expectations that they have on themselves, and allowing our players to feel the most success that they can possibly feel throughout the week, so they know they can get it done.
And then, on to the next game, Chico State. How does a victory against them, what you guys have to do to be successful?
Yeah, the victory against Chico always feels good. We've tasted it a couple times here on this field, so I think that we're excited. Chico's obviously very good. Coach Kim Sutton's a legend. She's fantastic, and you want to coach against the best, right? And you want to play against the best, and when you go up against Chico, you have that opportunity every single time. So we're excited for the opportunity, for the challenge ahead, and we'll prepare as well as we possibly can for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach. So last year you had a lot of seniors, played an integral part of the program. Now you don't have them, and now you have necessarily a younger roster that they're not necessarily familiar with this stage of playing in Division II. How difficult is it to make them that transition from playing junior college or playing high school soccer or club soccer to playing out at a D2 level where every opponent you face in the CC2A is going to be pretty challenging?
Yeah, I think it's always a challenge, right? You want to bring in freshmen that have the opportunity to be impactful, right? And transfers that have the opportunity to be impactful. I think that it's more than just a jump from the junior college level or the high school or the club level into Division II. I think it's a jump into the CCAA. It's the #1 conference in the country. I mean, right now, there's so many teams ranked in the top 25. It's unbelievable, and we get the opportunity to play in those games, and it's hard to prepare for that unless you go out and play top competition, which we obviously try to do. So I think it's pushing them, it's keeping players outside of their comfort zone, right? Not letting them feel comfortable in whatever role they feel like they're falling into, right? And pushing them every single day, driving the intensity of training. And I think a big thing is that's going well is that if you look at the results and they're not where we want to be, right? Flat out, we need to be better. But when you look at the leadership of this group and our ability to manage the lack of success, it's actually very impressive, because I think a lot of teams in the country with the expectations that we have in the situation that we're in would crumble and fall apart. And you look at this group, they come to work every single day, they're very serious, they're very focused, and the younger players are relying on the older players, right? And we ran them through some heavy fitness yesterday, and one of our returners, was struggling, right? She had played big minutes on the weekend, and we really pushed a group hard yesterday, and we had one of our freshmen go and pick her up. And you look at what that means to the mentality of the program and how they can rely on each other and lean on each other for success. And when somebody goes down, who's going to pick them up? And we have that. And that's why we still feel very confident about the direction we're going.
And look, the temperature of the team, this is not the first program you've been at, probably won't be the last program you're at, so and maybe you want to tell the media, maybe you don't,
Yeah.
but what the girls need to do in order to fix it. For you, what is that one thing that's missing? Obviously the goal aspect and playing all 90 minutes focused, but what is that one aspect that this team needs to do this weekend in order to get this thing going?
Yeah, I think, the reality is that we have a number of players that are very good at facilitating the play, right? Our ability to keep possession, our ability to create opportunities and things like that is fantastic, right? I think it's one of the best groups we've had in terms of that, and we really lead on a front foot with those things, right? I think the challenge is finding ways to get the players that we need to score goals into the right positions now, and allowing the stress not to be super heavy on them. But with every moment that goes by, the stress builds. And so it's our job as a staff to relieve stress, right? To set them up to be successful all week long, to get them the reps in the positions they need to have so that when the moment comes to the match, they're ready to go, right? And they can make the most of it. But I think that right now, we have the players that we need to have. Like, we're so confident in this group and what we can obtain and what we can achieve. And I think that we just need to sort it out a little bit more, get the right person in the right position. Like I said, we're going to move a couple people around in some new spots and see if we can solve it. And I think we're very close.
You mentioned a little bit